Hey, hey, hey! I hope everybody's having a great day on this lovely Monday. I'm here with Victoria. She is a coach and founder of Ride Like a Girl MTB Skills, and she lives in South Africa in Johannesburg. And I'd love if you guys were on here live, if you could let us know. And Victoria, can you introduce yourself to us?
Hi ladies, it's really awesome to be here, and just a little bit about myself. So I'm a BICP level 2 instructor and I teach mountain bike skills all over South Africa, focusing specifically on women. And I just absolutely love what I do, and I just get so much drive out of getting more women on bikes and loving their riding.
Heck yeah! So what I wanted to talk about today with Victoria, since she owns a specific women's company and she's very much so stoked about helping ladies and bringing ladies together, is why it's so important for us to have these groups and why it's so important for us to come together as ladies and how it can be pretty intimidating at times. And we can get into our own heads, and why it's important that we get out of our own heads.
Totally.
So, Victoria, can you talk to us a little bit about the feeling that comes in when all these ladies come in from all these different walks of life and come into one of your clinics?
So often, most of the ladies that come and join are so nervous, and I think that's, it stems around a whole bunch of things like worrying what others think about them, whether they're good enough to even be there for the skills clinic, whether they're going to be doing anything or get anything right. And so the nerves are very high in the beginning, but it's absolutely incredible that when we sort of get going and the ladies start chatting to each other, they all end up realizing that they on the same level and they all have the same types of challenges. And immediately they start feeling more comfortable, which is really amazing. So that initial decision to come to the women's group, I think, is a tough one, because we create so many stories around that. But once we're there and we start chatting to everybody else and seeing where everybody else is at, and also just the environment that we create, for these women, and making them feel safe and that they are welcome from the get-go is obviously also really, really important.
Super important. So if you are on here live or if you're watching the replay, I want to know, have you ever been nervous to come to a ladies' specific clinic? Or even just a clinic in general? Or a group of women that are getting together? Have you ever been nervous? Because I know I have. I remember whenever I was starting PT school, and I've done most stuff that I was mainly like the only girl hanging out with a bunch of dudes. And like at engineering school, I was a whitewater kayaker, and joining and starting PT school, it's a mainly womenly dominated area. And I was so nervous. I was like, oh no, no one's gonna like me. I'm gonna be like the only tomboy there. No one's gonna understand. And so if you've ever been nervous about doing something, just put on there, comment nervous. Because there's a lot of us that are in that same realm, and we feel really stupid about being nervous. But it's the thing that we all kind of go through. But it's not that it needs to be something that stops us. I still did PT school. I still went in there. I still made a bunch of friends. It was great. I did study with a lot of dudes because they were fun to hang out with them. But I did make a lot of solid girlfriends too. And so if you've ever been nervous about joining somebody or joining a group of ladies, just comment nervous below. I know, as you now did, yes, big group of ladies can be very intimidating. But there's some really good things that come about it. Just as Victoria was talking about how that everybody's on the same skill level, everybody's on the same playing fields, we all have just the same fears, and it actually unites us. It's such an amazing thing, and I'm sure Victoria can speak even a little bit more to that, about some of the instances where the ladies are supporting each other. Can you talk a little bit about some of your clinics, Victoria, about how your ladies come together and support each other?
Yeah, absolutely. So something that's really profound that happens on every single skills clinic that I have is that there's some women there that have never even ridden over something like just maybe a small bridge. And the comments already start when they get to the clinic. I won't be able to ride over that bridge, or oh, that looks so intimidating. I can't do that. And anyway, as I sort of guide them through and I give them the tools to ride this bridge, or even any feature really, the women already start encouraging each other. And I think it's because they're all nervous. They are all nervous. There's not one there that's like super confident to go and hit it. But because of that nervousness and that support that they already start feeling, like they just willing to give it a go, and they go for it. And then the joy and the cheer and the excitement after that, I think is just like, it's unbelievable, and that's where it's at. So all the ladies just end up supporting each other from beginning to end, and that's really, really magical.
That's so awesome. I love it. That is an interesting comment of everybody's nervous, and so then everybody starts to pull together to help, because they're like, well, I'm nervous about it. I would want some support, and that's super keen eye of thinking that that's one of the reasons that brings people together and to support each other. Have you just tell me a little bit about how the different smiles and the different faces that light up after they actually do something and they feel supported, Victoria?
I've seen everything. The best is tears of joy, because that's just like next level. They are just so excited that they made this feature that they start crying, which is really awesome. That's really great. What's interesting with the group dynamics is there's sometimes some women that are really, really nervous. And I think as the group sort of gets to know to each other after a while, if there's that one nervous lady, like they really encourage her, support her, they'll all run to the feature and be like, we'll be standing here and we'll, catch you if you fall. And then if she makes it over, then it's just big hugs and high fives and all sorts. So that's also really, really powerful. It's almost like people then also start opening up. So if there is that really one nervous person, they'll actually open up to saying, I don't actually know if I can do this, even though there is all that support already, which I think is also amazing, because at the beginning of the clinic, they never said a word. And now, as they start feeling more comfortable, they actually start expressing themselves and sharing how they're feeling with the other women. And then just naturally, everybody else starts supporting each other. So yes, big smiles, little smiles like, did I actually do that? I think some just have their mouths and their eyes like hanging wide open because they can't believe they did it.
That's awesome.
But it's really awesome, yeah.
And what's awesome is that it's the unification of everybody, like all the ladies coming together. And actually what makes us nervous is the fact that it is a group of ladies. But what gives us the most support is that it's a group of ladies. And whenever you're thinking about it, if you're nervous about joining up these different events, going to Rome Fest or going to some of the Ladies All Right clinics, doing one of your clinics, these ladies that are coming together, that's what makes it so awesome, is that it's the group of ladies coming together. And that's the same thing with the mountain biking ladies, and then my paid membership, the Ride Life team, is that it's support. It's everybody that's involved within it. Not just us as leaders, but just as all of the ladies in it. That's the most important part. And from what you were saying, those ladies are what give the most support for it. It's just spectacular.
And we need to believe that, yeah. So we need to trust that the ladies are all in it together and they're there to support us.
Hell yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
And that can help us with our nerves of resistant to do it, resistant to join those things, and to push us into it a little bit further to actually make those leaps of faith to start to do the clinics, to do the ladies' bride that's free from one of the shops, to actually get involved. And I think that's a key part, is that we need to get involved with more things. And we're only holding ourselves back against more fun.
Totally.
Oh, I love it. So if you are watching this and if you've ever held yourself back from going on a ride with others or from going to a clinic, are you going to think about it differently now? You're going to think about like, maybe I should go do that. Maybe I should give it a chance. And so I want to know, like, are you going to do it? Are you going to give yourself that chance? Are you going to allow yourself to have that support? Are you going to allow yourself to do it? To have fun? Get out there, ladies. Let's go.
Yes.
We're going to love it. So stepping back a little bit, Victoria, why did you choose to work with ladies? Why did you choose to kind of focus in your business?
Because I've been there where everybody else has been. So I also started riding out with my husband, and of course it was incredibly intimidating. And my personality, I am very judgmental of myself, so I can completely relate to all of this judgment that we put on ourselves. And he actually started running skills clinics for women. He saw the market for that. So he started running these skills clinics for ladies, and I obviously then I joined in on them. And as my riding started to progress and I started to get a little bit more confident, through my own self, I realized how much I would have wished to have learned and been in a women's only environment. Because guys just have that little bit of I don't know, they have that more sort of stamina and just a man's way of explaining things and doing things. For example, the easy trails to take a beginner on for me at that time were not easy. There were many tears, many falls. I don't want to do this. So just through my own experience with mountain biking and wanting to get into the sport, it really, really drove me to start a women's only mountain bike skills clinic group. And it's been so empowering just for myself and also just our community here in South Africa. So our women's community here has grown tremendously over the last 2-3 years, and I like to believe that I've played a big role in that, which is really amazing, and that's what makes me so happy. So yeah,
That's awesome. I think it definitely, it's nice to hear from another lady whenever you're being instructed on certain realms, and also that they understand that you can't just power over something. Guys have a way that they can use their strength and use that movement through there. Now, it's not that there's not solid freaking male instructors that can really drive points home, really work on finesse within that. And I'm sure they've focused in on how to explain it differently too. And they know their client within that. But I think we can all relate to that random, oh, this trail's gonna be just fine. We're out there, we're like, oh, shit, this is not fine.
Totally.
Dang it. My brother, oh my gosh, story time. So my brother and his wife, Toba, he was getting her into mountain biking, and I don't know why he did this, and he usually is a little bit smarter than this, but he decided to go with both of them on like her second or third main mountain bike ride down a trail that he didn't know. And it definitely was not appropriate. I hear about it months later, and I'm just like, damn it, Frankie, what in the hell? Frankie got help for that for a while. Hope it
I'm
wasn't
sure.
that done. She made it down the trail, but I'm like, damn it, Frankie.
Yeah, and I think that's actually really relevant because guys often find sort of spur of the moment things like that really exciting. And something I've learned with the women that I've coached is that they like to be prepared. The more prepared they feel, the more willing they are to try things. So it's almost like if you could take them down a trail where you know, and that they know they have the tools to take on this trail, they're willing to give it a try. But if you just throw them down like some crazy trail because you think it might be fun, yeah, that can become really intimidating.
Most definitely. And I think guys think that too. It's just harder for them to express that.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
there's definitely a spectrum of ladies too. And some ladies are like, oh dude, I love that shit. Let's go. But there's definitely a spectrum within it.
Totally.
Oh my gosh. Well, one more thing before we hop off with Victoria. What is one thing that you would tell the ladies that if they're thinking about getting together, they're thinking about going on a ride, what's one thing that you would tell them to give them that extra push to be a participant, to go out and to be involved in these groups of ladies, and that will give them that extra oomph to make it happen?
So I always like to say in life, if you don't try, you'll never know. But what's really encouraging to know is that whenever you join a women's group, a women's only group, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to find support. You're going to find at least one person you can relate to. I can promise you that. And taking that leap of faith and the decision to actually sign up or join up, that within itself is a step towards confidence, because before that we're busy judging, making up all these stories in our heads, only to end up coming to the group and having the absolute best time. You've learned so much, you've made friends, and that's what it usually always ends up being about. And I think we need to trust that. We also need to trust each other and trust that other women are also there to look out for us and support us. And even that the leaders behind these groups have been where you are. And it's nice to remember that. They also started somewhere, so they can relate to you.
Most definitely. Yeah. I think that the main point of like taking that step towards confidence, because we need confidence not only in our biking, but also in ourselves. And I think that we think that we're getting judged all the time, like doing everything. And sometimes we are getting judged, but that confidence within ourselves is a huge part that keeps us built up, that relates biking to life to biking, back and forth within that. And so if you are going to take that confidence leap, you're going to take that step towards helping yourself get better with your confidence. Sign up for those clinics, sign up for different free rides, like step out of your comfort zone and meet more ladies. Because the more of us that come together, the better we do with supporting each other. Mm-hmm. And if you are on that same page, just stay like, I'm in towards helping my confidence, I'm in for supporting others. And because I know you are, if you're part of this group, we have almost 3,000 ladies in here, and you guys are freaking supportive. You have, like, there's a girl that posted the other day, they were like, this is a safe place, I can ask this. Like, that's what these clinics are. It's just more in life, instead of just being lurker for a little bit and then actually finally saying something. You're making that next step. And I think that's super important to have that push and to feel a little bit more comfortable, confident within that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. Well, Victoria, how can they find you and learn more from your skills and from your information? Where you at, girl?
Cool. Well, I'm a lot on Facebook, so I share a lot of tips. I do Teachable Tuesdays. which can all be found on my Facebook page. It's Ride Like a Girl MTB Skills. I'm also on Instagram as that. And our website is masteringmtbskills.com.
Yeah, I love it. Well, if you enjoyed this interview and feel inspired, I'd love to know that you were. Just comment inspired, or thank you to Victoria for coming on here live with me. Hope
Awesome.
you guys have a
Thank you.
day.
Thanks, ladies.